Move the Mouse here, and we're back in City Skylines with our Let's Play Season 7, Episode number 3, the town of Portsmouth. And I had to do some rebuilding because of a crash last episode, but it's pretty much where it was. I did add, right before I saved the final save, this residential area is surrounded by trees in Portsmouth, and there's no shortage of them that kind of separate the neighborhood. So I figured I would add that in. And then what I wanted to do this episode, we have an absolutely ridiculous amount of residential demand. So it's time to break out the freeform tool and give people more spaces to move in. And I'm trying to think what I want to do here. I kind of want to curve this around like that and sort of use this tree line as a barrier. And I think what we'll do is kind of come down like this. This roundabout is not here in real life. It's actually the other side of the highway. So when we do the diamond interchange over here, we'll do the traffic coming from south, which is the heavier traffic in real life, dumps out to a roundabout that connects this way. But for this, I think we can do something like that to kind of get this connected. And this will be a little bit of a residential pocket, so we'll come through here and do something like, I don't know, like this. And then from here, maybe kind of connect down to this intersection and have another street that comes through this way. And that should give us a little bit of zoning for residential. I think it's going to go really quick though, so let's see how quick. When we paint all this in, get people moving in. I'm still going to leave this road relatively empty. I think what we can do there is maybe make that a spot for our schools. And maybe also have kind of a high school up here. So actually, let's not zone this. Let's not zone this outer strip here. So we'll do all that. We'll do this on the interior side and fill all that in. And that should get us started. We'll throw it on 3 times speed and watch that fill out in no time. Should fill up pretty quick, I would imagine. We'll get water over here before I forget, like I've done before. And we'll just extend that out. Get all that covered in case we move people in. I don't think that last strip is going to have anybody living on it. And again, I think this is a great spot for a high school, which, have we unlocked that now? We have. We have 0 capacity, so what do we have? What does this meet? Based on the vanilla elementary school template. Okay, so that's an elementary school technically. So we could switch things up a little bit and drop something like that into the map. But for right now, let's come in here and let's use some of this space up a little bit better. So I want to run a road. Let's do a little one-way road that maybe comes in from here. Then we'll connect it all the way over there before hooking it back out that way. And let's see what that actually gives us room for. So if we come back over to schools and the high school, it's a little tight in the back of that house. Maybe what we could do is this. We'll move that guy out. And let's come in here and bulldoze this house and de-zone a couple. And then that way we can make a little bit of a buffer zone for the school. We can fill that in with some trees later. And then I want to see, there's a couple new assets that actually just came out from King Leno. Football. So here's a football stadium. At least what Americans would call football. We'll go ahead and throw that kind of right across the street. And let's do the soccer stadium too. We don't want the rest of the world to feel left out when we're talking about football. So we'll put that right next to it. And I think what we can do here is if we go to our roads tool, I have the crossings mod on, so we can do a couple of... Let's do a couple of crossings. We'll do one here, and here, and here, and here, and we could even connect those with footpaths. That will kind of give us a feel of a little high school campus here. Let's change out that path. So come back over here, and we'll move this down one right to there. Now, if we want to nitpick stuff, we can. Just drag that over just a little bit, just so we can kind of get it placed right in between those two crosswalks. That works. And hey, while we're here, we'll break out the landscaping tool. We'll do some conifers and brush strength about 33. Set the size up a little bit, and we'll fill this in so there's a little bit of a buffer in behind the high school. Separating out those houses just a little bit, and then let's let that zoning finish off. We've got more commercial demand, and I'm actually very excited about that because I think we can start breaking ground up here on our mall. But in order to do that, I want a nice straight segment of road. You'll see why in a minute. So let me do this. We'll make this a nice straight shot right there. Did not mean to one-way it, so let's fix that. And this is one part of the build that I'm pretty excited about. So let's come in like so, and let's see how big our parking lots are, because I have a couple different ones that we can do, but I think we just want kind of a plain vanilla parking lot if it will let me. Maybe we have to let it play for a little bit and earn some money here. Should have done that off camera. I didn't realize how low our bank account was. I'm pretty sure we can't borrow any money. 1,000 left. Pay now and take. You may notice, okay, so the auto budget is on. This is a new mod that I haven't introduced yet, and I actually just turned it on. So this will actually adjust our budgets up to a certain percentage that you can define. You can turn them off. You can change the settings so that it will turn up to a certain point. But hopefully that will help us make a little bit more money, and you won't have to see me come in here, you know, every 2 minutes to adjust that budget. But I am just testing this out for the first time, so we'll see how that actually works. I don't know how expensive all this was. This might have cost me a pretty penny. 5,000. So that's actually not too bad. High school was the most expensive thing we did there. But we've got a little bit of money, so let's come back over here before we run out. We are making money, which is good. But we have a lot of commercial demand right now, and that's what we need to take care of. So let's do that. Back over to parks. And let's see. I think I just want a really big parking lot here. So we do something like that. And if this is square, I should be able to do this and then rotate it after. We'll throw it on day, because I know it makes it a lot easier for people to see. I don't know how it got to be night so fast. Must have had that sped up or something. So the way that these parking lots are oriented, they'll turn in on this side, basically where the arrow is. So if we want to keep people from turning in on this side street, or rather keep them from turning in on the regular street and have them turning in the side street, we can move these assets basically like so. And that will enable us to do a little bit of a mall in here. So I'm just going to connect it like that. You know what? Let's leave this for now, because maybe what we can do is a little back entrance and have this kind of act as like a loading area. You know, some of these businesses are going to have trucks that come in there, and it would only make sense that they would be entering through the back door.
Back door, huh? Good idea.
But anyways, that aside, come back in here and let's look at what we've got. So we've got a GameStop. Throw that in there first. There we go. And then what else do we have? I gotta see what these are under. So I know that there is a Subway. So basically we can build a little strip mall like this, right? 100 speed limit. Why is there a speed limit on that? I think that's King Leno's. Did I just break something that won't go away now? Okay, that went away. Let's see. Let me pull up my list because I'm forgetting now what's over here. And I actually went into Google Maps and wrote it all down. All right, so I've got some ideas. Had to check my list. This one's a big one though. And this is gonna kind of go off to the side of the strip mall. Can we do this? Not enough money? Of course not. Okay, let's let it play. I have $600. I didn't even realize that. It's twice now, and of course I don't have enough money to water it. Oh no. Let's see what we can do here. Alright, let's see what we have for River Park objects. Let me see if I can find that. There we go. That might make it a little easier. Got all our signs. Ooh, a Baskin Robbins. So maybe we'll delete these because these are kind of designed to all work together. These are King Leno assets. I do like them both. These are a little easier to search for. So let's delete those. We've got cars parking there already. Excellent. And I wanted this to just feel kind of like an empty lot. We could do another road path up through the middle, which may not be a bad idea. But I think the entrance on either side of the strip mall is going to be okay. There's a Radio Shack. You don't see those very often. But these are all designed to just kind of snap together. Not enough money. Alright, let's... we'll come back to that, because that's more of a creative project anyways. Let's zone off over here, because we've still got that commercial demand. So we'll fill in the sides for now to meet that demand. And then as we get money, we'll drop in some custom assets here and kind of make our own little strip mall of actual businesses. This would be nice. I gotta look to see if there's one that actually has a drive-through. King Leno's might, so we'll have to check back on that. We've got more demand for industrial, and I hesitate to build much more over here because we're close. We're close to unlocking these tiles. I'd really like to build these two tiles out. We could do a little industrial pocket kind of over here as well. But ultimately, I'd like the bulk of it to be kind of on the right half of this basically farmland. If you want to do industry there and build on this map, you certainly can. But I'm going to do standard industry kind of up along there. But we'll have to wait until we can buy that tile, right? We don't have any areas yet, do we? Oh, we do. So both of these are really appealing. This is kind of our downtown area over here. This one right here. But I'm not really ready to get started on that project yet. So let's buy that tile. Because I think we've got enough area over here to expand commercial, and we need to start thinking about industrial space. We got to move these out of here too, so let's maybe get the polluting stuff out of here. We'll put it on this road so that that area can start to recover. And we'll move the recycling plants too. It's a little expensive, and I could have done this with Move It and cheated, but again, I'm trying to go easy on the mods for the most part in the first half of this build and do things legitimately, but we are running into money problems, unfortunately. But that's life in City Skylines, you know. That's what we have to deal with. And I'm up for that challenge. I much prefer the challenge, and that's half the fun of building a city to me. Is we got a lot of people that moved out over here. I can't help but wonder if it was related to the pollution in their backyard. I'm gonna guess that it was. I know I wouldn't want to live there. Surprised those people aren't complaining about their health, but you can see that this pollution bubble is already receding, which is good. So that should start to get better. Now, of course, we're going to have some garbage issues crop up over here now that we've moved the... there we go. That we moved the recycling plant a little bit further away. But it should still be able to get there, I believe. Right? It's a little bit in the gray, so maybe we can do another one up here somewhere. But we'll see. Money-wise, do we want to... I'm going to drop in a few more stores. I kind of want to see what this looks like all assembled, so... We've got the Baskins, we've got Radio Shack. Did we do Verizon yet? No, we did not. That doesn't quite line up, which is unfortunate. Liquor store. Okay. So in New Hampshire, the states run the liquor stores. You can buy beer pretty much anywhere in New Hampshire. Grocery stores, gas stations. It's different around some other parts of New England where you have to go to a state-approved liquor license store. But liquor itself, so hard liquor, is sold through the state. But for our purposes, we'll just add a liquor store and a strip mall. That's totally fine. Bank of America with the drive-up. That's kind of cool. We should kind of put that over here on the corner. I think that makes more sense, right? And where are we at? $32,000. Let's drop in some more custom assets, just because we can. There's a Subway. Hallmark store. Look at this. All kinds of stuff. And most of these are stores that are actually in that area, so... I know I did... Dollar store broken? There we go. Dollar Tree. So unfortunately, we've got a little bit of traffic happening here. What we can do, though... Traffic manager, parking restrictions... and move those cars out of there. That will hopefully encourage them to park in the lot instead. So where's that last bit? Okay, here. So now they'll park right in front of the stores or here in this massive lot, which I might actually have to fill in with car assets because I don't think it's going to fill in, but it looks kind of appropriate for a massive mall structure like this. And we can do like a Home Depot or a Lowe's or a Walmart on either side. And hopefully those will fill up some of the parking spots too. But in a pinch when we're out of the first half of the season and things are getting a little bit more creative and cheaty, if you will, gotta have a blockbuster video. And can we squeeze in one more? Can we squeeze in one more? A Chipotle? Should probably put a med clinic near this, to be honest. Probably gonna get sick eating there. And then can we move this down, I guess? So we can't move a zoned building, which this technically is. We can do that, though. And then can we get one more business in there to kind of fill out the strip mall a little bit? Petco looks like a big one. It is. A Pizza Hut. Okay, let's do this. Let's get rid of... We'll get rid of the Starbucks for now. Because Starbucks is not as important. Does that not line up? Is that on the other corner? I think it is. Alright, let's see if we can cram a couple more in here. Just to finish this. What do we got? So we'll do the pizza. That is the Petco. The Pizza Hut. A T-Mobile store. In case you don't like Verizon, come over here. And we had a GameStop in that initial building that we plopped down. What else? Another little one. Papa John's. Who's got a Papa John's near them? We've got kind of all kinds of chain pizzas in New England, so I do have a Little Caesars, a Papa John's. I didn't download a Domino's, but of course, if you had to pick a chain, I guess, which chain would you pick? Let me know in the comments down below. I always go local, though. We've got a great New York-style pizza place, which, although I like, it's kind of sacrilegious in New England. The pizza I probably prefer the best, though, is Greek-style pizza. We've got a couple good ones. So I like that look. It's nice. But we're going to have to do some decoration, kind of fill in the back here. We'll do some loading dock assets or something like that. But these do technically meet low-density commercial. So we will see that those will have jobs and they will help generate tax income. And we'll see traffic there. Not as much as we're hoping, though, to fill in to fill in all these parking spots. So we'll come up with something, and I'll drop some assets in there. Oh, we have a bunch of dead people showing up. We do have a cemetery now. I don't think I dropped one in yet. I did not. So let's get one in over here, not too far from the high school. That'll cover that residential area fairly well. So they're happy about that, but there's not good coverage. So we'll throw another one on this strip over here, because we've got the money for it. And that should get all our residents pretty well into the green. And hopefully the hearses will find time. People are dying in the parking lot. What are they doing? They probably ate at Papa John's. What they did. I guess Pizza Hut too. I suspect this one's going to go out of business, so keep an eye on this spot. There might be an empty store here at some point in the future. There are still... It's interesting some of these have tops. I just realized that. There are still Blockbusters in Alaska, if you would believe, because they don't have great internet up there, so it's still a way to watch movies. Let me see. This is not where this is going to stay, but I need to drop this in the map. As an Applebee's. Like that. And then let's demo this. Pause. Go back to Applebee's and put in that sign? Brush strength. Oh, brush strength all the way up. Brush size. Single. And that'll actually let us drop our Applebee's sign. So let's see, what does that say? Neighborhood Grill and Bar. Try our new sizzling entrees. So, bit of backstory for you. We're rebuilding Portsmouth. This is an Applebee's in Portsmouth. Applebuddy got her name from working at Applebee's. And this is actually the Applebee's. Well, not here. I told you we're going to move it. But the Applebee's in Portsmouth is where she was working when I met her way back in 2011. So I will actually put this where it's supposed to go. But this is where this is where my wife was working. This is not where we met. I'm sorry. But this is where she was working when we met way back in 2011. So there you go. Little behind the scenes for the channel. The Applebee's, where Applebuddy got her name and was working. When she fell into my trap. So, demand-wise, we've still got a lot of commercial demand. I'm thinking we need to fill that in too, so maybe we'll do something in behind here, like a Walmart or Target, or just to fill in the space for right now. Let's see what the cost is on this. $30,000. Get lost. Get out. Get out of town. GTFO, as they say. $30,000 for Target, too. Man, what about the depot? How much is the depot? Why $30,000 for everything? Come on. Let me guess what Lowe's costs. 28. The low price goes to Lowe's. Excellent. Okay, that'll do for now, then. We need to really consider to stop messing around. And I need to bring this road. Let's see. This road here. Do we have access? We don't have access to this highway yet. This is going to funnel all the traffic off into the airport. But we'll bring traffic up here for now. And let's freeform it. We'll kind of follow this tree line. And we'll start moving our industry up here. So, although the roads are going to be a little crooked, linking back up. What is this? 30 units. We'll come over 10. And then let's see where it will let us click. Where we lose minimal zoning, hopefully. But we'll kind of keep a tight industrial grid over here. 10 units, come on. 10 on the dot. Because we don't care about personal space in industry. We care about cramming in as much business as we can for tax revenue purposes. So that's pretty good. That should enable us to meet some of the demand, and we'll slowly start dezoning off to the left side of the screen. So let's let all that fill in with generic industry. And later on, when we buy that tile for the airport, we can get rid of that really ugly fix-it-later intersection, because that doesn't need to be there close to the other highway interchange. So I mentioned this was our first fix-it-later project. Not only because it's terribly ugly, this is ridiculous. Let's cheat a little. Let's move it to try and smooth it out a little bit. Oh, that's beautiful. That's much better. But it doesn't. We don't want anything too close to this. So we already got this interchange over here. We want to offload some of the traffic further down the highway, especially the heavier industrial traffic. We want to get that away from this major interchange wherever we can. Although this turbo interchange is awesome at supporting traffic. Frame rate is chugging along right now. Let me see what we're at. 12, 14. So apologies for that. It's not pretty when you've got all this happening. Where are we at population-wise? 4,500. Wrong button. Trying to get to 5,500 for our next interchange. It looks like we get decorative roads and any of the assets that also use decorative roads. So we'll get larger versions of police and fire and healthcare. So that will be good. A good step in progress for our city. Before I forget, because I always do. Hopefully someone was shaking their fists at the screen, saying, "Mouse, you forgot the water pipes again." Honestly, you should be surprised if I remember them at this point. And we gotta get people over here. So maybe we do another overpass over this way, just to get people a little bit closer. So we'll do that, and we'll come up. So that can work, and we've got all our pollution out of there now, which is good. So we could step up our commercial over here, but we've met our demands very well. We're slowly getting money in the bank, which is good. And I probably have to thank the auto budget tool for that, because it's adjusting our budgets on the fly in the background. We do have water and power service problems, but it's ramping those up as we need until it gets to a certain cap. Then it will start. It'll stop ramping those up. So let's see if we make sure we're not hiding problems, which is a mod for lazy mayors or creative workflows. You can do things like no abandonment, hide the problems, and then just focus kind of on building your town up. I feel like we neglected some schooling though. So we've got schooling is in the red. So let's get another elementary over here. We'll do the standard elementary. That should help that neighborhood. And why don't we throw one over here too? Kind of on there. And that should really enable everybody. He's got plenty of capacity. pretty good coverage. It's still a little gray up in here. It's amazing how little road network that supports. But hopefully that does the trick. Like I said, we've definitely got the capacity now. On high schooling, we are in the yellow, so we're going to have to do another high school, which seems ridiculous to me on some level, right? Because look around at small towns in your area. If you had a population of 4,000 people, they may not even have a high school in the town. They may use the high school next door, but they certainly wouldn't have 2 or 3. But unfortunately, that's what we need to do in this game. So I should have dropped in one of those middle schools. That would have been a fun change of pace. But let's not worry about that yet. We need the high school. We know we need the high school. And maybe we could do a creative arts over here. So that gets us into the green. No problem there. We don't have universities unlocked yet. That's at 8,500 population. But we won't go too crazy because, if anything, it's going to be a little bit out of proportion, but we might do kind of up here on the tip of this peninsula, a UNH little college campus with the campus DLC. Really, in actuality, it would be way, I can't even see it here. It would be way off the edge of the map. In fact, off the map, technically, if we're building things to scale. But we could do something like that over here. Kind of get the feel for where UNH would be. Make another little small, very small downtown area. Durham, New Hampshire. It's technically across the water. But for our purposes, we can build a little college, university campus up there and try and make everybody happy. What's going on over here? Uh-oh. Apparently nobody wanted to come work out here. So that was a success. Yikes. Alright, well, we're making money at least. We are losing population right now. Some of that might have to do with the fact that people are dying. Let's see where we're at electricity-wise. It's constantly keeping it in the yellow. So, budget-wise, 91%, 93 here. We're over on garbage. So maybe it's time to add another recycling plant. And we can move these around afterwards, kind of put them on their own little side street back here. But I gotta get this figured out, why nobody was willing to come over here to work. Ice Cube Factory. Did we didn't do an Ice Cube Factory here, did we? We did one on the console build. Sometimes we're going to get stuff confused. Forget what we did and did not do, but ultimately this is not where industry's staying. So when we do finally settle in up here, and once people are staying and work up there, we can rename one of these to an Ice Cube Factory. Or maybe just maybe, if we mark it historical. I'll probably forget though. But who wouldn't want to come work at a historical business like the Ice Cube Factory, where the first ice was made in New Hampshire? Can we jump all the way back to the beginning? There we go. Let's get a plaza or something in over here. Plaza with trees. Try and up the land value a little bit near our Ice Cube Factory. Made 2 businesses happy. That is fantastic investment. Let's make some residents happy, because I don't think we've done a lot of parks over here. So get a dog park in. Did I not drop? Oh, you know what I did? I think I dropped the basketball court in before the crash on the last episode, and then I forgot to add it back in when I went to rebuild stuff, maybe? Right? Because wasn't there a basketball court like right around here? I think there was. So we've got money. Wrong tab. Let's try and make some people happy. Other parks, basketball court. We'll put it right across the street from the dog park. Or right next to. Will it let us? No? Okay, we'll have to do it this way instead. That works. So that should make everybody kind of happy over here. Let's do the same thing. So we'll come back into parks and we'll do something down here. We'll come on the very end of this because there is a little baseball field here, but I haven't found the right baseball field asset just yet. So at some point I'll decide, and maybe we can move that down. Do a little placeholder here. What was that, out of bounds? So we'll just do a little placeholder that we will not zone to remind me to drop a baseball park in over there. So basketball down here. Let's get a dog park up more central, I guess. Make some of these people happy. I mean, not those two people specifically that we moved out, but what are you going to do? And then we're still a little light over here, so maybe another dog park down this way at the end of the street. And we've made people pretty happy at that point. Let's do another plaza up here. In fact, let's do one over here right next to the bees. Ooh, that's interesting. The plaza is actually sitting under this sign. I didn't recognize that that was a prop that was there. So let me try and move this over one. Or two and move that business out. That works too. So let me try and move this over one again. Just wasting money. Terrible. Okay, and that's not zoned now. Perfect. So we do have not enough workers at the Dollar Tree. Everybody else seems to be happy though. 8 of 10. Amazing that they could afford 7 people to work at Blockbuster Video. So let's do one more thing before we call it quits. I want to break out the trees. I'm not going to go too crazy. But I do just want to fill in a little bit of that area. Provide some sound buffer. And we're going to mix and match some other trees in here too at some point. This is basically just for a little bit of decoration. And for Kung Fu and Decoy's sake, a little bit of kindle so that they can enjoy some fires. So we'll do something like that. And when you look at Portsmouth in kind of an overhead, it really is... There's pockets of trees that really surround some of these residential areas. So right now it's just a bunch of conifers. We'll thin that out a little bit in the future and mix and match some other things in there so that it looks a little different. But that is a pretty good spot to break. I hope everybody's having a fantastic Friday. Sorry I didn't say that up front. But hopefully you're enjoying this series. Hopefully you're enjoying the console live streams as well every Thursday and Sunday night. We're switching things up this season. So PC build during the Monday, Wednesday, Friday videos, and the console has taken over the live stream. So hopefully you get a little bit of everything and are enjoying the build. I had said in my mind I wanted to wait a little while to do something like this, but I was also really dying to see what this looked like, the strip mall. I think we're going to have to trim back the parking lot. Is just way overkill for this, especially since there's parking in the businesses, which seem to be doing just fine at supporting the visitors. So, but most importantly, this episode we got a ton of abandonment. Wow. But we got the Applebees in, and that was the most important thing. Where is it? Right here. So, hopefully you enjoyed. I know this one was a little bit of an odd episode. I didn't really get into the specifics of it, but let me just show you real quick, because I do want to try and touch on one mod every episode. Total auto budget is the one that I definitely made the most use of this episode, even though you didn't see me set it up. So you basically choose to enable or disable certain budgets for it to auto manage. You can say what the buffer is and what the maximum budget is. So basically, when you set that top number, it's how much production should exceed consumption. So if we look at electricity, we're constantly in the yellow, because technically yellow is okay. When you get into the red, that's when you're producing less than you're consuming. And that's when things start to get those power pop-ups. So it's constantly looking at your needs and then adjusting just above that what your actual output is, and therefore hopefully saving you some money in the process. And you can turn that on for water. You can see that we're in the yellow there. Same thing with sewage, and same thing with education, healthcare. All those things have budgets that you can assign to support more offerings of that service. And we've just got the auto budget on, so it's doing its thing, and we are doing pretty well for money. So in the next episode, we're going to get to hopefully 5,500 if we don't keep losing people. But we'll get there. It's going to be let's see what's going on at the high school here. The fields, no football game going on. Why is the track so messy? Is that grass growing up through the track? I'm going to have to look at that. Maybe we'll have to surface paint first and get rid of the grass, because I think that's what's happening there. See the long edges of the grass kind of coming up through the edge of the field. So I think this could be a fun little cinematic for us on the outro. So let's do that, and we'll kind of pan over here like that. Something like so. I'll shoot a little cinematic like that, and that'll be our outro. But thanks so much for tuning in. I know this was a little bit of a weird one, so appreciate your patience. But we'll continue to... Let me see. Let me close Cinematic Camera Mod for a minute. We'll continue to build this out. We've got a couple little pockets I want to fill in. We'll have some more industry commercials, some malls up this way. But I just wanted to get this little strip mall in here. We're going to actually do some big box stores in the form of things like Macy's and Best Buy. So these actually get pretty big, and we'll try and build that into an actual mall building. I think one thing I keep forgetting is I need to get a movie theater, because there is a movie theater at the mall, and that would be a nice little touch to throw in there. But all these businesses that we dropped in, it's basically just defining a business, right? So although this is totally cheating, I guess, these are commercial businesses that work just like any other business. They need workers, they support education levels, and they can go out of business and get abandoned. You just don't have to zone them, you're plopping them down. So in order to do that, we need some mods that we'll get into more in the creative half of the series. But those are all part of the collection that you can find in the description. If you want to build your own little strip mall, I would go a little bit easier on the parking lots than I did, because this is just way overkill and almost nobody's using it. But look at all the cars parked over here at the Applebee's. Why are you getting not enough educated workers? Alright, well, we will keep educating people, so don't worry about that. We'll get that taken care of. So in the meantime, though, if you enjoyed the video, hopefully you did, likes, comments, and shares all help the channel a lot and are greatly appreciated. If you're new here, subscribe and consider hitting the bell to get notifications for updates in this and other series. Check back every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for new episodes of the Let's Play. Cities on console on the live streams on Thursday and Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern. Follow me on Twitter and join the Discord to get involved in the discussion. But until the next one, this is Move the Mouse, signing off.
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.